we usually have somebody, a guest, on the hot seat. But I think instead of doing like a 5-minute hot seat segment, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it is, I think we've got about 60 minutes worth of hot seat coming up.
Well, because he's toxic.
Our next guest, this brother does not mince words.
Wow.
This brother is outspoken. This brother will get it off his chest. I saw him go at it with Shaq.
That's right.
And I liked it. I was impressed. And so we love to have him in the studio with us. He's our good friend. Our man, 10-year NBA veteran, now an NBA analyst, does a great job with that. Ryan Hollins. What's up, brother?
Oh, what up?
What's up, Ryan?
Why you looking at me sideways, Rob?
You started a big deal. He started a mess on social media.
Explain.
Because he put something out there about basically, hey, if worked for Kawhi, load management, everybody trying to figure him out. He won a chip, so that's all that matters. It don't matter. You know, like basically telling people to stop complaining because he got a formula and it worked out for him.
When you average 30-9 in the playoffs, you have one of the most historical playoffs we ever seen, only comparable to Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, LeBron James. You average 30, you could load manage.
And then I said to him, you sound like a typical athlete who never had to buy a ticket in your life, and you disrespecting the fans, and the fans came out after you because you know I'm right. When's the last time you bought tickets and opened up that wallet and spent $400 for a game, and then the star player didn't play? You ain't never done that.
Hold on,
never, have you?
Guess what? You know what sometimes you got to do? Sometimes you got to do this, and Chris, I know you have this problem with Rob. You have to save people from themselves sometimes. You have to save, you have to save people from themselves. You want to know why? Okay, let's get your scenario, buddy.
Yes.
Let's get your scenario. What you want? Kawhi Leonard plays every single game, and he's a two-way, one of the greatest two-way players we've ever seen.
We love it. We love it.
He don't have no off switch, bruh. So if Kawhi Leonard is out playing,
but a lot of players, Russell Westbrook doesn't.
He plays hard every minute of the game.
But I got something for that.
Go ahead.
I got
you down on Jordan.
I'm not.
I heard you say it. Now that
LeBron, he wasn't even close. He's not even
change it. I heard you said Michael Jordan is not in the same class as LeBron James. Did you say that?
Can I not? No, I didn't say that.
What'd you say?
That was foul. I didn't say that.
Right.
For one, let me acknowledge Russell Westbrook.
Game, how it changes.
Hey, little brother gambles a lot. Talking about Russell Westbrook. So as far as him playing a full game, which has taken a toll on him, he needs rest, and he gets it on the defensive end. Now, as far as Michael Jordan, your guy, and you talking about load management, guess what? You know the pace that Michael Jordan played in? Michael Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, played in the NBA in which the pace was scored at the 80s and 90s.
Doesn't matter.
Which means on possession to possession, there are less possessions. The game is slower. Why would you low manage?
No,
stop hard.
It was more physical.
It was far more physical.
Yes, it was.
It was football compared to the finesse game today in the NBA.
Do you remember what the Pistons and the Knicks did to Michael Jordan?
When you went to the cup, you got clothesline, you got hammered. You're right about the pace. But the physicality was so much more than it is now that evened it out, if not.
Michael Jordan's last year played all 82 games.
He played against guys with beer bellies.
Oh,
you saw Greg Ostertag and all these poor athletes. Yeah, you can play every game.
I thought about that. When y'all young guys, y'all
that's what they do, right?
You like to point out Greg Ostertag and Randy Brewer and Paul McKeskey. Right. Hold on. I just watched Aaron Baines light the Lakers up last night. You going to tell me he's some great athlete?
He can move his feet now.
Aaron can move his feet. You have guys. Who's that out there right now in the Zubac. Zubac is a great athlete. He's forced to
move his feet, and he don't play in the playoffs. They put Zubac. We love Zubac.
He playing in the league now.
He be sitting on the bench in the playoffs. Listen.
See? Nah, y'all sleeping on the 80s and 90s.
Man, we covered it.
You had two poor positions. You had a power forward and a center who didn't score and just wrestled for rebounds.
The power forwards were tough.
You didn't have to guard them.
But the center scored. The centers don't score now.
Okay, Chris, I'll give you this. I didn't play, guys, and I'm not going to pretend to say that I played in the 80s and 90s. But what I did and what I'm basing this off of, I played in an era when I was first drafted where everybody told me I was too skinny. It's a man's game. You got to get in the weight room. So I played in that power forward center physical NBA, and I watched it transition to a Golden State pick and roll, 120, 130 point pace per game possession type of style
and
of play.
And no defense where you can't touch anybody.
Ryan,
you can't even touch.
What?
That's a foul. If I do this, Chris, that's a foul.
Also, Ryan, I'm going to say this, and I want your opinion on this. It is easier than ever to get into the paint.
Easy.
And they essentially, some teams are leading you into a mid-range shot. Like they want you to take a mid-range shot. Look at how many times players will dribble into the mid-range and then dribble back out or kick it out. Like, it's not nearly as physical as it used to be.
So, Chris, it's the worst statistical shot in basketball. So, defensive now, when we play against
Kawhi
teams,
lives off the mid-range.
I know, and you know
that. And Durant did too.
That's right.
Hold on. The contested 2-point shot is the worst shot in basketball statistically. And hold on, Cowboy, because I see you all fired up. Let me ask you something. Name 5 people that shoot the mid-range at a clip that can beat you.
Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant.
Stop, Chris.
That's
you don't
enough.
I don't need nobody else.
Kevin Durant doesn't play.
I don't need anybody
else. How many games Kevin Durant played this season?
No, I'm not talking about. We're talking about.
5. He's not retired.
No.
I don't need 5. I just gave you
the 2 that matter.
Because we're talking about. Hold on. Are we talking about the All-Star game or are we talking about the NBA? So within the NBA, give me 5 guys that will beat you in the mid-range.
One name is enough. Kawhi.
He did
Honestly, what is he living off this year? Ryan, you watch the Clippers.
I agree.
Killing you in the mid-range.
Killing you.
Because we're talking about the NBA. You're talking to me about pace and what are good shots versus bad shots. And you said this is bad defense in the NBA now, correct?
They don't even play defense.
I'm not saying it's bad.
So if you're forcing
teams do try to buckle down, but I'm saying the philosophies have changed. One, you can't hit anybody when they get to the rim. So that was something back in Jordan's day.
Dude, you were
risking your health going to the basket.
What they always say, no layup.
Right, it was a no layup rule.
It was a no layup.
Bad basketball, yo.
Nah, come on,
bad
man.
basketball, yo. This ain't wrestling.
Dudes didn't over dribble like they do nowadays. Now
all they do is just
hold on. They're getting a little
bit
bit away from that. They're passing
Hold on.
more.
See, you keep throwing out these empty statements. I
Kawhi,
said as a
Kyrie,
blanket
the best handle ever, but he over dribbles.
To the NBA, players don't shoot the mid-range at the same clip. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about the entire league, Chris, not the top 5. You can't even give me 5 guys with a mid.
No,
and then also,
but if it weren't why is it so effective then for Kawhi?
Name me 5 guys who over dribble. We'll go what? Chris Paul, Kyrie,
we
and
don't
who
have
else?
all day.
Chris Paul, name me some of the people who over dribble.
LeBron used to.
LeBron over dribble.
LeBron used to. Dwayne
now you
Wade,
ain't ripping
who's retired,
LeBron no
he
more.
You said used to. I said
Steve
5
Nash
current players.
Did.
5 current players.
Oh, give us time. We ain't got time to sit here and think.
Could you, bro?
No,
y'all, especially you, bro.
Ron, don't say me.
And
you know it.
Why are you? If the mid range wasn't a good shot, then Kawhi Leonard living on. I get the stats. I get the analytics, but Kawhi Leonard would not be able to be arguably the best player in the league when that's his main
Absolutely,
go-to shot.
he ain't a 3-point shooter.
He's an aberration. Clearly, we can. There's no one else that we can
but
compare him
he's the best one.
No. But I'm saying yes. We obviously know.
Durant.
Hold on.
I know Durant can shoot the 3, but he didn't shoot mid-range.
Let me correct my statement because I actually agree with you to a degree. But I'm talking about the entire. Hold on. I'm talking about the entire league. So there's stars and there's role players, right?
Okay.
We talking about the role players. Ryan Hollins, you're not going to shoot a mid-range contested 2. That's not your shot. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James. There's a handful of guys.
DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Who can shoot contested? Yeah. And when you named All-Stars. You named All-Stars, so we're talking about.
But they take most of the shots. Role players are limited in everything they can do, right? I mean, they tell you don't do. You're right. A role player is not just going to take a bad shot.
So a tough 2 is a bad shot. Is that what you're telling me?
No, but you're saying
Kawhi Leonard can make a bad shot.
I get the analytics. Because we know that if you shoot 1 for 3 out of 3 from 3-point range, that's the equivalent of 1 for 2. 33% at 3-point range is the equivalent of 50% at 2. I get the math.
An open 3 is that prolific now. An open 3 is that good. And percentage-wise, I'd rather run you off the line and contest your shot listen, I'm saying this from scouting reports.
No, I get it.
You know, I'm not just throwing it out. And also, yeah, there's a Kawhi Leonard, there's a LeBron. Certain guys, Damian Lillard, certain guys you can't stop.
Well, it's funny that the guys who are doing those, they're the ones winning the championship.
Exactly.
They're the ones in the mix.
Players.
And all the other guys, it's just like the Billy Bean thing. You know, like with baseball. They could talk about the analytics and how the A's always make the playoffs and all that with a low payroll. They never win.
Right.
They never win. And so the analytics don't mean that much to me unless you show me that you could do that, Chris, consistently and you're winning championships. Nobody's doing it. Still the best players who are doing their own thing because they can make those shots are the teams that are in the finals every year.
So what Rob said, I want to piggyback to what you said, Ryan. If I'm a player and I know you coming to run me off the three-point line, correct? Why don't I master the two
and take two steps in?
It's easier than ever to get into that 15-foot range and take a shot.
Because as a defense, for one, you got to be that hot. And I'm gonna try to stay in the play, or another guy is gonna be rotating. So we want to give up contesting twos as a defense.
But we're gonna close out the paint, so you're not getting in the paint and run you off the three. So you take that mathematically poor 17-footer.
Let me give you this.
If I can hit it,
so here's the logic: as great as NBA players or whoever may be, right? So if you have a first shot, your first look is, let's say it's a dunk or it's a three-pointer. It's rare that guys, even at a pro level, can take a shot, counter it, and go make another, even at the highest level. So for a guy, statistically, to get run off the line, shot fake, step through, and hit another shot, it's a horrible shot for guys. That's why you take away the first option. If a guy goes right and you send him left, even at an NBA level, it's rare that you guys get going to the left hand. So like I said to my original statement, Michael Jordan played in a slower NBA. He ain't need to load manage.
What about the physicality? You're not going to take that into account?
I can play every single night with physicality. I can't play when I'm running.
When I'm running. Footer,
right.
Who was in the weight room. No, you going to tell me Kevin Durant, that physical play wouldn't wear on him?
It sure would.
Kawhi,
he don't get touched.
I'm not saying, I know he's mentally a dog, but he's thin.
Not the same way because you have more rest. Listen, hold on. Let me ask you something.
Michael Jordan said after the bad boys kept beating him, he said, I realized I wasn't physically strong enough. He had to get in the weight room and work
get
out
better
to get stronger. Durant would have to do that in the game back in the day.
And Kawhi,
as physically big and strong as he is and tough, his body is fragile. We see that. I mean, that's why he's doing load management
physically, or you talking about just injury health-wise?
That's what I mean, the injuries. Like, a lot of this is genetics. Like, everybody can't play 82 games
Chris,
a year.
Let me ask both you guys this. Conditioning-wise, why is that so important to injuries? The ratio of conditioning to injuries. Why is that important, conditioning-wise?
You got to flesh that out a little bit.
Okay, so let me flesh this out. Whenever a guy's injured, it normally comes from fatigue. It's very rare freak accident where a guy has full energy, completely healthy, and steps in and gets injured. So when I'm running,
hold on. If I roll my ankle on somebody's foot, I go up for a jump shot. They jump into my space. I come down on their foot.
It's a whole lot more likely that you be off balance. Other than some freak
but that's
injuries,
not just fatigue of playing in the game.
ACL, that's not fatigue.
Conditioning is very important because the strong majority of injuries come from fatigue. How would you get fatigued? Playing at an 80-point pace or 120-point pace?
I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I think that's that new math that everybody's trying to throw out.
Guys,
I'm not buying.
I'm not throwing the numbers in your face.
And the bottom line is you keep doing this to fans. Keep doing it and watch and see. The same thing with the networks. Keep screwing ESPN
Y'all salary
and TNT where you're not playing in the big games that everybody tunes in for, and watch and see. They'll change the amount of money they pay.
You see, it's hot in here. It's a Worship Wednesday, but it's Rob Parker's theme song. It's hot in here. All right, Ryan, let's get to this because we were going back at each other so much in the first segment. We didn't get to hear you defend load management. Look, I understand some of the arguments, but the bottom line is you're paid to play basketball. And I'm going to say this about the
You're
science.
a player.
Because the science,
Guess what? You're
the
a
science
player.
I know. Oh, Kawhi or LeBron or whoever is banged up. They're not getting enough sleep. Ryan, any high-level career job, people probably aren't getting enough sleep. And they're worn out. My wife's a doctor. When she's on call, 36 hours straight of work, maybe 4 hours of sleep in a 48-hour period, something like. And you dealing with life and death.
Right.
You're doing procedures on people.
Half
Medical
sleep.
school, Wall Street, your first 2 years of Wall Street, they weed you out by working you 90, 100, 110 hours a week.
And the guys who can't handle it, they're out.
Right. So I don't want to just hear the NBA players, and not just the players, it's the executives and all them talking about the science says they're fatigued. I guarantee you the science would say Rob Parker's
I'm fatigued.
Chris Broussard's fatigued. Skip Bayless is
Who
fatigued.
you got to guard tomorrow night?
What?
Who you got to guard
but
tomorrow
just in
night?
general,
No.
just getting up and working.
We
no,
work.
That's not the same.
We're not in the same
That's not the
physical,
same.
but we're not in the same physical condition as them either.
Exactly.
Rob worked out for like 2 weeks in a row. He could barely walk in here, yo. He worked out for 2 weeks in a row talking about he getting his body back.
I was
he could
back.
barely walk.
I was back.
He was back.
Yeah, man.
He
take
was
a
back
selfie
to
with his shirt off,
whatever
yo.
the destination was. He was back.
All right.
I was back
All
there
right.
But
for
give
a
me
while.
go ahead, explain.
Hey, let me rant, Rod. Let me give you a For one, I love load management. I love it. The reason I love it is because I get to see the NBA's best at the end of the season. I do understand there's an Iron Man type of respect that we give the guys who give it every night. But to be realistic, I wanted to see Kevin Durant in the playoffs in the championship last year. I
So
wanted
he
to
got
see
hurt
Clay
because of load management.
He should have low managed.
No,
he
hold
should
on.
have. And guess what? Hold on.
I got
Hold
one
on.
for him.
Let
I
me
got
finish.
one.
Let me
Go ahead
finish.
and finish
I
because
got
we're
one.
going to jump on you.
You have to save fans from themselves because you go back crazy as a fan when this guy isn't available at the biggest moment. And the last time I checked, we don't give away regular season awards that matter. Who cares about Harden's MVP? Who cares about Giannis's MVP? If you don't bring together a chip.
So then they should let the people come in for free during the regular season, right? Don't charge people because
Let me help
you just said the regular season doesn't matter. So why don't we have a pay as you exit, and I could decide on my way out how much I enjoyed the basketball game, and I could leave a 20, or I could leave a 40, or I could leave a $100 bill if I really enjoyed it. And if the Stars played, and here's the other thing on his cockamamie load management. Do you remember when Michael tried to come back in the last? Didn't play all year and came back.
His second year in the league when they didn't want to make the playoffs?
No, when he came back from baseball, right.
Yeah,
and he came back, and you remember that?
Did you cover him for baseball?
I did cover him. I covered his first game. But I'm talking about, you remember, he thought he could just jump back in by not playing during the regular season. What happened? They got knocked out of the playoffs.
Right, second round, they got beat.
That's all I'm saying.
That's when Nick Anderson said 23 used to fly. 45, not the same.
Exactly.
To that effect.
But you know what I'm saying? He had all the rest in the world.
Right.
He thought he was just going to show up and ball out.
He was rusty. That's a little bit.
I'm just saying.
What are you?
But hold on, Ryan. Look, you're gonna tell me that Golden State's injuries were due to not having load management?
Absolutely.
No,
Kevin
they weren't.
Durant
Kevin
Durant should have low managed.
His Achilles
Kevin
was
Durant
gonna
should have
stop
low
it.
managed.
Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson only averaged 34 minutes a game last year.
They don't need no
That's
load
low.
manage.
Do you know
Dudes used to play 38, 39, 42 minutes a night.
Hold on. I don't think you understand here. Maybe we got to get the number. See, Chris, the NBA I played in, I went from pounding to running. And when you run for 30 minutes, it breaks your body down.
You're a big man. You could handle
Let me ask you
physical
something.
play.
Do you know how hard it is to run as an NBA wing? Do you know how much running you have to do when you are running inline to inline? It is a completely different game, brother. It's completely different.
I read an article today, ESPN.com, that dealt with the whole load management thing. And they quoted some doctors who, talked about how just the same stuff you saying, how it's such a wear and tear on the body. They said the only answer is to shorten the season. Is that what you want?
No.
Let's go to 65 games
answer?
and then they can play everything. Or I'll give you a better one. And one of Rob's students mentioned it when I spoke to his class at USA.
Why didn't you get to talk
Monday.
to the class?
They said,
Well, have you win?
Here's what they said. It was a good idea. He said, how about just stretching out the season so you don't have back-to-backs? You could keep 82 games, but you just – how about
chill
that?
Chill the heck out. Hold on. Let me just
Why? Chill out what?
As a former player, I want to have my rest. I want my offseason with the kids.
Well,
secondly,
resting off, that's part of the problem.
You're resting during the year. No, you're resting during the year.
During the year.
Yes, you are. You just said that. Let them rest now.
Treatment. He still got to work. Hey, secondly, as far as shortening the season, no. You know what you do?
Because you want 82 games of money.
No.
But not 82 games of work.
But as a general manager, that's why you compose your team with a good enough bench to come out and play.
Nobody wants to see the eighth man play a lot. I'm sorry.
They don't want to see him. That's what we're paying top dollar.
We want to see Kawhi, KD, Steph, Clay, LeBron, AD, all those guys. That's what we want to see.
Odd couple. I got something to throw. I got a news flash. Do you know how long load management has been in effect? Do you know how long NBA players have load managed?
No,
this is not new.
Tell us.
This is not new.
San Antonio, Tim Duncan, early in his first half of his career, was playing 80 games a lot of years.
And even when he stopped
last year, he played 77 games.
That ain't no load management.
San Antonio load managed by keeping you under like 33 minutes a game. And probably took some practice.
And that's not load management?
And Tim Duncan.
That's fine. But we want to see you in the game. You can load manage by lowering the minutes or taking some practices off or whatever.
Let me give you the difference.
Have to be skipping a game.
Or play, Chris, and let your career numbers drop. And you play less minutes in games, but they don't want their numbers. They're trying to preserve their numbers. Am I right?
No, that's true. You can go out there and give us 20 minutes.
Give us 20 minutes then and take the rest of the night off. Oh, no. You don't want to do that because my scoring average is going to drop.
Let me run this to you because we talking stars. And the reason that we're all up in arms is about Kawhi Leonard, who is now, you can put him in that, I'm not going to say he's not in the GOAT debate, but he's in the GOAT company. No. He's in the GOAT company.
Really?
We'll say company.
No, not yet.
Let me give you, so his comps. Michael Jordan played in a slower NBA.
Stop it.
Hold on, slower NBA. Kobe Bryant did not have Kawhi Leonard's injuries, and at the end of Kobe's career, he low managed, and not to mention, Kobe stopped playing.
He was old.
Hold on.
I don't mind an old guy. If LeBron low managed, I wouldn't have a problem.
Right, he's not old.
In his 17th year. We're getting back. We're going to
hold on.
Save your thoughts. We have to have breaks. Save your thoughts. We're going to get to the Clippers v. the Lakers. But you seemed like you were, Ryan, were about to go into some deep waters.
Let's go.
You put Kawhi Leonard, who is arguably the best player in the world right now, and a great, all-time great.
I'm not going no
But
GOAT.
you put him in the GOAT conversation?
This is what I'm saying. I said Kawhi's comps are the GOATs.
I think I can find players whose comps are the GOATs over a short period.
When we talk about Kawhi Leonard, we don't compare him to Paul Pierce anymore. We're not comparing him to Dwayne. We compare
this
man.
man. There's a gap, though, between Paul Pierce, who is a legitimate Hall of Famer and all that, Yeah, there's a gap, though, between Paul Pierce and the GOAT conversation.
A huge gap.
So
and I'm saying
Kawhi's somewhere in that gap.
Kawhi, this is what we got to understand. Stop trying to make sense of Kawhi. Kawhi is just Kawhi, dog. Like, if we talk about his whole career, no. He had one hot year that we looking at, but in this hot year and what he's done and how he's done it and who he's done it against and how he did it his way, we got to look at Michael. We look at hold on. We got to look at Kobe. We got to look at LeBron. This is who we have to compare him to.
Wait, for 1 year?
I wouldn't.
Rick
so listen,
Barry,
hold on.
I'm gonna call you out because I'm a basketball historian.
Call him out.
You're a millennial coming in here with all this Johnny come lately.
They always say anything that happened yesterday is the greatest ever.
Rick Barry in 1975 led Golden State to the championship, averaging 30 points a game. His second leading score was 14 points a game that year. If somebody did that today, we would be throwing them, according to Ryan Hollins, in the GOAT conversation.
Hey, Chris's starting center had a part-time job. Who's he playing against?
Nah, stop
it. They flew commercial. They had a bus.
Go to Springfield. A lot of the guys he played against are in Springfield,
what I'm saying is, because of Kawhi's career, he started alt role play, all that. I would not put him anywhere near these guys career-wise.
Okay, but that's what we talking about.
What I'm saying is that if I'm gonna compare games, if I'm gonna compare the now, if I'm gonna compare these conversations, I'm gonna have to place him with these guys and say, what did they do? And I'll also acknowledge Kobe did it for a career. Michael did it. I'm not going there. I'm not crazy.
So what are you saying? The peak Kawhi
because when I bring him up, I gotta bring up why he low manages, and I can't compare him to a role player. I can't compare him to even Paul. I can't compare him to these guys.
Wait, what? Are you?
So let me bring up Kobe. Because that's where I was going. Kobe Bryant did not low manage because one, he didn't have Kawhi Leonard's injuries, and two, later in his career, at whatever point, Kobe stopped playing defense.
Well, doesn't everybody at a certain stage of their career?
Kawhi ain't stopped.
He's not the same age. Kawhi's not even 30.
He's on his ninth year.
Come on, stop it.
And one of the years he played 9 games.
He ain't the same.
Kobe was D'ing up hard in his 9th year.
You know, about a year ago, where was Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio? How did that year go for him, health-wise?
No, I get it, and that's why you didn't
acknowledge it.
We both agree.
Last year, Rob and I were fine with the load management.
We didn't complain, not at all.
I'm fine with Joel Embiid load
coming off of an injury. Yes.
I'm just saying, if you're healthy now, and look, if Kawhi, maybe he does have some type of degenerative thing going on in his knee. That may be legit.
Then you need to put it out there. But he said the league and it said one thing.
They said you got to patella.
And then Doc said what?
Well,
Doc came out in a press conference
and
said he's healthy. He said he feels great.
Jason Powell, head trainer for the Clippers.
So I'm asking
Doc Rivers is Jason Powell.
No, I'm asking you, why would Doc come out there and say that?
He talks for the team.
Come on, man. He's the head coach.
Because listen, for one, as a head coach, you don't want to say he's hurt. You want to bring as less buzz
you're saying
to the situation as possible.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ryan. And I say this with respect. No, not to you. I'm talking about Kawhi because I got mad respect for him. Are the Clippers, and again, he's arguably the best player in the world, so he's playing great. But is he kind of damaged goods? Like, does he have some type of injury? It's like Todd Gurley, where now he's obviously still playing at the top of his game.
That's a great comp.
Okay, so they know that over time, if he plays too much, it could really become a problem.
There's a risk versus reward when it comes to Kawhi Leonard. Last year, as Masai Ujiri told us, in the entire world, Lakers, Clippers, every single team said Kawhi Leonard is worth it. So even though he absolutely is damage judge, you got to be nervous, but it worked out.
No, but my only thing is, and I get it, I think Chris and I are lockstep, that coming off that injury from Golden State, I can buy it.
Right.
I cannot buy that automatically you're going to miss 20 games. The season just started.
He took 2 games off.
And you're talking about missing 22 games? Come on, man. That's a lot of games. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the fans.
And let me ask you this, and we only got 2 minutes. We'll come back to it if we have to. In golf, remember the golfer about 15 years ago who won it? He was handicapped. And he was not walking the course. Right. He had to take a cart because he was handicapped.
And you can't ride a cart.
They didn't let him do it because part of the challenge
is to walk the
physicality
of walking the course.
Yeah, if a guy can go out there and play 40 games in the regular season when the rest of us are playing 75,
he has an advantage.
For the playoffs.
Hold on. For one, he can do what he wants, but I guess what? He ain't going to probably be on no NBA first team. He ain't going to win no MVP award.
He won't.
So he's sacrificing that, and those accolades mean a lot
to
a player.
But is that fair? Don't mean the same. If you healthy and you only play 50 games.
Basically, you rested all year.
Maybe you should try it too. Okay? Maybe you should try it too.
They tried that when I was at Oberlin Division III. They load managed.
You load managed?
Actually, it was just called sitting on the bench. Nah. All right, it's the odd couple. Our man Ryan Hollins bringing the fire. He getting burned up a little.
A little bit. Hey, where's that barbecue sauce?
Yeah, bring that barbecue chicken up in here. It's the odd couple, Fox Sports Radio. Keep it locked. Hey, it's the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob. And we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.
No question about it. And remember, oh, yeah!